Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the segment of Code Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The Sabad for the day is Surat Mahalla Panjwa. Composition of the fifth Nanak continues in the Rag Surat. This is the 59th Sabad in this progression. And we begin by reciting from the top. Surat Mahalla Panjwa, Gur Purai Charni Laia, Gur Purai Charni Laia. The perfect Guru. This is that higher organizing principle of knowledge. Charni Laia literally attached me to its feet, or the feet of the divine. Har Sang Sahai Paya. And there I found attached in that attachment the self, the divine, is my constant companion. Jeh jaiye taha suhela, wherever I go, there is ease and well-being. Suhela, life is pleasant. Kari kirpa prabh mile. So this is the result of grace, not something that I could have achieved on my own. You see, there has to be a reaction. There has to be an interaction. This is a kind of a hide and seek, but it's also a dialogue, because this is deep transpersonal integration, you see. You're trying to reach a state of wholeness. Your ego is fragmented, and the Guru is the guide, the principle of knowledge that leads you there. Alignment. And it takes you into a permanent relation with higher consciousness, that inner presence that then begins to act, support, and respond. In other words, you activate that relationship. What that means is that your outer consciousness and inner consciousness are now in sync. And things become suhela because you're not projecting conflict outward, but because now you're in congruence. This is harmony, a relational state where the divine and the individual, the transpersonal and the personal, co-create a reality. So this is not a shift in willpower, as I said, but grace. You don't create this higher consciousness through computations, but a realization that reveals itself. So having given us this preface, the Guru turns to the Rahau, the refrain or the reflection or the theme or the title, whichever way you want to see it. This is the central idea around which the Sabad moves. And the Rahau is Har Gun Gavo Sada Subai Har Gun Gavo. Singing to the qualities of the Har, that evergreen consciousness. Hari, we call it Hari, which is a name for Vishnu, but what that really signifies, Vishnu is simply a personification of an idea, the idea, a quality, if you will, qualia of evergreen, fresh, never stale, because the ego is stale. So Har Gunagava, orient your attention and even sing, because singing will transport you beyond the confines of your ego. So align to that field of coherence, that consciousness which is coherent. So this is effortless once it happens. So har gun gavo sada subhai, man chinde sagle phal pavo, ji ke sang sahai. So man chinde sagle phal pavo should not be confused as your desires being fulfilled, but rather the idea that the support is within and not rooted in the ego. This is awakening to that perpetual support. This is harmonizing. Onwards, Narayan Pran Adhara. Narayan Pran Adhara. Narayan means the refuge of the Nar, humans. Narayan, and it is a symbol for the divine. It says Narayan Pran Adhara. Pran is breath, Adhara, support. So that Narayan is the breath of our life. We are breathing that Pran, that Pranav. It's called Pranav, the one that gives us breath. So this is suggesting intimacy. Let's carry on. Ham Santa Jana Re Nara. I am the dust of the feet of immense, evolved people, wise people. Patata Punita Kare Lina, because they have the capacity to lift you. Kari Kirpa Har Jasadino. And with them, you learn and you receive the gift of the divine praise. So this Pran Adhara is what animates you. This is the animating field that organizes everything, including our organism. So reality is made of conscious relationships. I'm conscious, the universe is conscious, and so we establish a relationship to which we are, at this moment in our ego, cut off from. Fallen, purified, simply evokes grace as a reordering, if you will. The third verse, Par Brahma Kare Pritapalla. I'm always being taken care of. Pritapalla, nurturing. Sad ji Sanga Rakhavala. Sad, with every being, it is the permanent protector. Har din Rain Kirtana Gaiya. So it is now our accountability to sing to the glory of that protector day and night. What that means is we should emulate. Glorification simply means emulation, and we can emulate the self through the qualities of the self that we are aware of. And Bahorana Joni Paye, you're not reborn again. That simply means end of fragmentation, of being caught up in unconscious loops. So this is the transcendence of the egoic self cycle, not to be taken literally. In conclusion, Jis deva purkha bidata har rastin hi jata. So to those the divine essence is given, only they can receive it. Again, it's a matter of grace. Jis deva, to those whom it is given. Purkha bidata, by the Purkh is literally the transcendent being. Bidata is the giver, the protector. Har rastin hi jata, only they can know it. Again, emphasizing grace that is involved. Jamakankar nedana aya. Jamakankar, Jam again we know is the ambassador of death. It no longer terrorizes you. You're basically transcending the ego, because the ego lives in time and therefore is very self-aware of death. And Nanak, Sukh Nanak Sarani Paya, Nanak ends with Sukh, but it is a non-dual realization in intimacy with the self. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.